So 2020 has been a really crazy year for all of us so far, and right now it's only July. It's really been no different in my personal and business life either. On Etsy, it's just been craziness. My shop exploded since January. I've done almost $100,000 in sales, and I'm used to having six-figure annual sales, but not in 6 months. So it felt like everything was just fast forwarded, and I learned a ton in that amount of time, but it's also been very overwhelming. So I wanted to make this video just to kind of outline for you guys the strategic things that I think helped me get to the point where I could make almost, six figures in 6 months. Now, I'm going to show you my Etsy stats behind the scenes so you can verify that this is real. I really have made, at this point, almost $94,000, and it continues to snowball every single day. The momentum is there, people are shopping, and it's been beyond crazy. So stick around for the end of this video, by the way. I'm going to give you 3 main strategic tips that I think have helped me get to this point, but I want you to stay for the end of the video because I'm going to make a really big announcement that a lot of you have been asking me for, and I want to make sure that you don't miss it. So let's get into the 3 things that I think have helped me get me to a place where I could sell almost 6 figures in 6 months. So the first thing is capitalizing on trend. I talk about this a ton in all of my videos, or most of my videos, but I really believe, especially in places like the print-on-demand space, but really with any product in general, you have to know trend and you have to be able to capitalize on it whenever you can. This doesn't just mean observing people and being like, oh, I saw somebody at the mall wearing this, so I'm gonna create one for my shop. It's in-depth research, it's 24/7 observing the world, and it's developing your mind to where you can really spot trend from a mile away. And this is really important when you're a business owner, especially when you're a shop owner that's trying to get the demand that's there whenever you can. I believe that when the demand rose this year, when more people were online shopping, I was prepared because I have really worked on my skills in terms of trend spotting and being able to adapt certain trends to fit my target market more specifically. So I also really believe in the idea of capitalizing on what's working. I think a really nasty mistake a lot of sellers make that sets them back a lot is when a listing is selling well and another listing isn't doing so well. The listing that is selling really well, they'll be like, cool, I'll leave that and then I'll work on what's not working as well. And that is not the strategy. What you need to be doing is focusing on the things that are working really well and then thinking about how you can build them out. Say you have a tank top that's selling super well, a certain design. You can then say, all right, well, people want this. There's demand for it. What else can I create with this design or similar design on it? Or even just a style, whether it's, tie-dye or cropped hoodies or things like that. Like if that stuff is selling well, how can you sell more of it? The market is telling you what they want. They're showing you by their attention and by their purchases the things that they're looking for. So how can you build that out? Don't waste your time on the stuff that isn't working. Sure, you can try to optimize things to the best of your ability, but really focus on the things that are working first. I've done this since 2014 when I started, and I think that's really what's brought me to this point overall, is being very good at not caring about the stuff that's not working, eliminating it as fast as I can, and focusing on the stuff that is and building it out. So the second thing that I believe has really helped me get to this point is the eRank keyword tool. Now this is like a secret weapon for me. If you don't use eRank yet, get on it right now. The eRank keyword tool is amazing because it helps you spot trends, it helps you spot demands, it helps you spot low competition niches that you can just get right into in a wide open market and then sell a bunch of because you're ranking faster. If all of this is confusing and doesn't make sense, you've just got to get on eRank, you've got to poke around and see the type of data that it gives you because it's really just life-changing. In 2019, I taught myself really the best way to use the eRank keyword tool. And since then, things have totally just continued to expand month over month. And I really believe that in part, this is because of keywords, because when you've got the right optimized keywords, people are finding you in the right places, your items are really relevant to what they're looking for, and they're gonna give your listing a lot of attention. And then the algorithm sees it and says, okay, this item, a lot of people are wanting it, so we're going to boost it in search results so more people can see it as well. So the third thing that has really helped me is photos, and this one is a really, really big one, maybe the biggest one, because photos are what get you attention. With the keywords, you can have the best optimized keywords, and if your photos, in particular your thumbnail photo, the very first photo that shows up in your listing, if that photo is not optimized, you're not going to get the clicks. People may be finding your listing, but they're not clicking on it. Because we have to remember, we're in a marketplace of thousands of different sellers. When people are shopping on Etsy, they're not only seeing your listing, they're seeing a ton of others. So you have to do everything you can to make sure that your thumbnail photo stands out, is competitive, is emotionally connective with your target market, and you really bring the product to life in order to entice them to actually click on the photo. Because like I said, the more clicks, favorites, and purchases you're getting, the higher you're gonna rank in search results. So you've gotta have both the optimized keywords and the optimized photo, in particular the first photo. That's your prime real estate on Etsy because it's what's competing against everybody else, right? So you've got to make sure it is as good as it can be. And I have put such a focus on figuring out my target market and the things that they like to see and the things that get them excited, and making sure every single first photo that I have in my listings involves some of these things. And I keep my photo style pretty consistent as well. Once you find something that works, that gets a lot of attention, do that in all of your photos. And like I said, the very first thumbnail photo, that's what you really want to be paying the most attention to. The additional photos are also important because visually, those things are what are convincing your buyer to purchase your product, your potential buyer. But your first photo is what initially gets their attention and what gets them into the listing. So that one you have to pay the most attention to. And in 2019, again, I was doing the work to make sure that every single first photo I had on my listings was totally optimized. And that's when, I got into 2020, my shop started exploding and really building a lot of momentum because I was getting so much attention because of my thumbnail photos and because of my optimized keywords and because I was capitalizing on trends. So all three of the things that I've mentioned in this video work together to promote your shop in the biggest way possible within Etsy search results. So you've got to know the algorithm really well in order to leverage organic traffic. And I think that that is one of the main things that I have been able to do really well. And it's because I've done so much research and put so much time into the back end of figuring out the strategy. So it's not about ads. It's not about driving social media traffic. It's about leveraging organic Etsy traffic. So talking about photos, that really brings me to the announcement that I have to make. I don't want to waste any time in this video. I have a live Etsy seller photo masterclass happening this Thursday, July 23rd at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And it's going to be basically an entire module out of my Etsy Seller Master course on photos and how to get the right thumbnail photos, how to do the research, what things are most important and what things aren't. I'm gonna have tons and tons and tons of mastery tips and tricks within this workshop. It's going to be jam-packed with value. I've been working really hard on it, so I would love for you guys to be there live. I'm also going to be announcing the release of my Etsy Seller Master course with a discount in the live workshop. So you're going to want to be there. I'm going to give you all the information I can about it, and we're going to do a little preview as well. So I really, really hope you're going to join me for the live class. I'm going to put the registration link in the description below. If you're watching this after July 23rd of 2020 has passed, do not worry. I'm going to link the replay below as well, or on my Instagram, which I'll link up here as well. So I hope this video has been helpful for you guys. Know that this type of revenue is possible on Etsy. It just requires strategy, it requires work, and it requires knowledge of the algorithm and how the algorithm on Etsy works, but it is totally doable. If I can do it, you can do it. So if you have any questions, please do comment them below and join us in the Facebook Beowulf Biz Facebook group. It's really, really fun. So I hope that you'll join that as well. Again, link in the description. So comment below, join the Facebook group, and join me live on Thursday, July 23rd at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And I'll see you guys in the next video.